Welcome back to the next video of the series Understanding Pointers in C. In this video, we are going to discuss the concept called as call by reference, calling a function by passing the reference or by passing the address. A reference means memory address here. Right? In the previous video, we discussed call by value, where we were passing the values of the variable while calling the function. Like here, when we called swap, we passed a and b. A means value of a, b means value of b, right? And that with that we were not able to make changes to the original variables were intact. We were making changes on the copies of those originals, right? Now we'll call swap, and to the swap we'll pass the references. We'll pass these addresses now, and we'll tell swap that, hey swap, now don't create your own copies but go to the original. As I'm giving you addresses of the original, go there and change those originals. Don't change the copies, don't create the copies. That's what our dialogue will be with swap now. So let's see swap now. So here is a call, again the same main function where we are declaring a, b, storing 10 and 20. This is what will happen in memory. Okay, then we'll call swap. Now to the swap we are passing address of a, memory address of a. Now we are passing this, we are not passing this now, right? So that swap can go to a original variable. And also we are passing address of b, that is this 2000. Memory address of b is 2000. So we'll pass memory addresses of a and b, and we'll tell swap that, hey swap, go to go to these addresses and change there. Don't create your own copies, right? Okay, when I say this and a and b, so this is passed, this 1000 is stored. As we are passing an address from here, we need a pointer here now, right? As we are passing address of integer variable, we need an integer type pointer. We are now passing an address of integer variable b, we need an integer pointer here. So we need two integer pointers there, and they will hold the addresses of a and b respectively. X will hold the address of a and y will hold the address of b. So in memory, this 1000 will be stored in x like this, and this 2000 will be stored in y like this. That's what will happen in memory. Now, okay, pictorially, if I show you, x is a pointer pointing to a and y is a pointer pointing to b, like this, right? Now I have the addresses of I'm sorry, these are x and y, not a and b. So this is not a and b, but they are x and y. So x is a pointer pointing to a and y is a pointer pointing to b. That means x is holding address of a like this, y is holding address of b like this. This is just pictorial representation, but in memory actually this was happened. This is what happened. 1000 is stored here, 2000 is stored here. Okay, so now let's execute this swap function. As we have this call, our program control will go here and will execute this swap function, right? So these addresses will be copied in x and y. Now we have a third variable here, temporary variable, which is temp on memory location 9000. Now in temp we'll store the value at address x. So this temp is equal to value at address x, right? So what this will give me, this will give me, this is a dereference operator. This says value at address in x, right? What is the address in x? 1000. What is the value at 1000? Value at 1000 is 10, so I'll get 10 here, right? So this statement will assign 10 to temp. I'll read this again. Value at address in x, address in x is 1000, value at 1000 address is 10, right? So we'll get it. Now this statement, by using this statement we are going to original variable a. Here value at address in x, right? What is the address in x? X is 1000. So value at 1000 is equal to value at address which is there in y. What is the address in y? 2000. So what is the value at 2000? 20. So this 20, so this will give us 20. So 20 will be assigned as value at address which is there in x. Address in x is 1000. So value at address 1000 will be this is 20. So 20 will be assigned here. Now you see we are accessing the original variables. We are accessing the original variables. We are changing the original variables by using these pointers, right? By using these pointers, we have these are kind of handles from this function to the variables of this main function. Okay, so this is what will happen with this. Now in in B, right? In B, what do we want? We want a 10, but that 10 in A is overwritten, but it's already stored in temp. So this temp, which is holding 10, that we want to assign to B by using pointer Y. So I'll say value at address which is there in Y. What is the address in Y? Y is 2000, right? So value at address 2000, that is value here. This means value here, right? Value at address 2000, Y is holding 2000, is equal to temp. So temp is 10. So this will assign 10 to Y, at address Y, value at address Y. So this will assign 10 to B, right? So now this is how we changed. Now if you see, we changed the originals are changed, right? Now when I see this bracket, when the compiler see this bracket, the control will be taken back to main function, right? And when we come back here and print this, now A will be 20 and B will be 10. So the originals are changed now. Original variables are changed. Why? Because we passed the references to swap, and swap went to those references, those addresses, and made changes there, right? So this is called as call by reference. We change the originals, right? So again, so here if it is tricky, this means by using, now you might wonder, why can't I directly use A and B here, right? Why can't I use directly A and B here, right? Why can't I say temp is equal to A, right? Why can't I say temp is equal to A is equal to B, and B is equal to temp, right? That I can, this code will perfectly work here, right? But if I use this code here, A and B are unknown here. This swap function don't know what is A and B. They are not declared in the scope of this swap function, right? That's why I have to use the variable which are only declared inside swap. So inside swap, I know X, I know Y, I know temp, but A and B are unknown. So in order to make changes to A and B which are in the scope of main, I have the handles by using in terms of X and Y. So by using these handles or pointers from swap, I can make changes to A and B, which are original variables of main, right? Okay, so this statement, I'll write it again. X is equal to star Y. This means this will give us value at address which is there in Y, right? Value at address which is there in Y. Address in Y is 2000. Value at 2000 is 20 earlier, right? So 20, right? So this will be 20, right? So this is assigned to value at address which is there in X, right? Address in X is 1000. So value at address 1000 will be 20, right? So this is call by reference which we use to make changes to the original variables, right? So this is it for this video. Stay tuned. Thank you.